Welcome in to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marshland Media Empire conglomeration experience, breaking on down episode by episode, beat by beat, and sweat by sweat. Lucha Underground. That's right, we are all the way up to season 4, episode 6. Break the machine, and you can break my body if you hold my bones. It's me, Sean, and debaser himself, James.
Do you mean like someone who debases things, or the baser?
So initially I meant Pixie lyrics because that's where I went with my name, and I just kind of rolled.
I don't even think I've heard a Pixie song in my life.
Probably the Where Is My Mind? From the, have you seen The Fight Club?
I have in the days, but is it like, Where's my mind? It's going crazy. I feel like I'm a little lazy, baby.
Ooh, no, but it should be, James. Oh my gosh, you just wrote a brand new Pixie hit.
Is it this song? Lay down, dog, bad
That's
dog.
a bad dog. Oh my gosh, everyone getting ready for the brand new, it already drops, or it's dropping next week. Insane Clown Posse album.
On the 12th, I believe, the 6 Jokers card in the second deck. And people might wonder, why are we saying that right now? Because in 2 weeks, we will be covering that for an episode of Shuffling the Deck, the definitive introductory ICP playlist podcast.
Yep. And if you're wondering, where do I listen to all those episodes? They're in the same dang feed you're listening to right now. You just gotta scroll up, baby.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Sean, guess what, real quick?
Yes.
Frankie Jonas, the bonus Jonas, followed me on TikTok, but more specifically the Chicago Comics TikTok, because he loves just pulling comic books and saying, hey guys, look at what I got this week.
Hey, good for him and good for you. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you and for Frankie, both for you getting a new follower and Frankie getting a sweet new TikTok account to lay his eyeballs upon.
Yeah, he, on 4th of July, he liked a bunch of my videos, and then finally, he gave me a follow. So, bonus Jonas, what up?
That's what it's about. It's like in all those romantic comedies where the guy's like, oh, I'm just like gonna be here and like be really nice, and she keeps coming close, but we just never meshing. I don't know if gaining a TikTok follower is like a rom-com finale when they finally get together, but it feels like that. It feels that kind of catharsis.
In this day and age with the Bumbles and the Humbles and whatnot, yeah, I'm surprised rom-coms aren't just all on the internet, clicky-clacky, cyber sexing on an AIM chat room, jacking off, fingering beeve.
Is there? I was gonna say there's not that much sex in rom-coms. There's a few spicy rom-coms though.
Yeah. Red, White, and Royal Blue, what we discussed on This Movie's Gay 100th episode that just came out, there was some pretty realistic gay sex.
Ooh. At what point can I produce a pornographic film with just rom-com themes and it still be considered a rom-com?
I think it would just be an X-rated rom-com.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to tell all these producers, and by all these producers, I mean my family back home who are worried about me. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "No, Sean, you're just getting into porn." I'm like, "I'm not just getting into porn. I'm getting into porn and art, which are the same fucking thing, dude."
Oh yeah, people are blowing each other, having a good time. But, Sean, I really hope you produce that so then we can cover it together on the Rom-Complex. We'll change it to the Rom-Complex.
Hey, and by we cover it together, it will be just you. I have been banned from the Rom-Complex. Not really. I just think it's funny.
The Rom-Com less? No, come more, because this is a porno.
If I am truly banned from the Rom-Complex and I'm never allowed, and again, not really, but if I am truly banned from the Rom-Complex, that is your and I's rival podcast that we will create, the Rom-Com less, no parentheses, come more. Yeah, just like direct Gary Oak to their Ash Ketchum. And then we'll hop in a car with a bunch of girls, and we'll be like, "See ya, stinker." I forget what he calls Ash.
I don't know what you're talking about.
From Pokemon, you know Ash and Gary. Yeah,
okay.
The Pokemans.
I think you just saying Ash and Gary kind of flummoxed me a little bit, but Sean, I think most pornos are rom-coms because it's like, you know, a stepdad and a stepdaughter, you know, they have this meet cute. Oh no, his dick flopped onto my hand. Whoops.
Wow, that is such a hot take.
That's a meet cute. That's a meat large.
I got you. No, I got it. Yeah. Oh, wow. Such a hot take with so many great puns. You think you would break the internet? Maybe you're just breaking this brain of mine I call the machine. That's right. We're up to season 4, episode 6, Break the Machine.
Oh, yeah. I would have said, speaking of large meat, these men are large.
This is true. There's a lot of things I could have said, and I didn't. But
Sean,
I'm saying this now. Yes.
I would love it because the temple goers are called the Believers. I want hashtag Beliebers, and it is the Lucha Underground face, design, the logo mask with
sure.
Justin Bieber's classic swoosh photoshopped onto it, his swoosh bang. Someone make that up. I might. I don't have the time for it though.
Yeah, we should have that image in the world. I don't know what we'll do with it, but that should be out there.
Temple Beliebers. That's what we call ourselves because you and I love the Biebs.
It is a shallow Venn diagram. It is me, you, maybe Frankie Jonas. We'll have to ask him. How do you feel about Justin Bieber? And you are watching Lucha Underground right now. Is that correct, Frankie? You ought to be. It's amazing.
He's going to say, no, I'm too busy reading Absolute Martian Manhunter.
And we'll all be like, damn. But you know what? Fair. I was hanging out with a bunch of the people from Shakespeare Blood Oath afterwards. And we're talking about like surprise awakenings and like surprise romantic awakenings. You know, characters, you're like, va va voom, I am now sexually active, I have just decided. And Martian Manhunter was definitely on that list.
Whoa.
And I get it. I never thought about it before, but like the stoicism, this sort of like very like take everything on the chin and just kind of like be a real man, like a real non-toxic man about it.
Real quick, not for you, for other people you were hanging out with.
Martian Manhunter was not my awakening.
Okay,
no.
All right. That's why I was like, whoa, Sean. I didn't know you were like bricked up for the Manhunter. You were like, he can hunt this man any day.
That would be such a cool way of coming out as like bisexual. John Jones, correct?
Something. I don't read this shit, man.
So. You should read the shit and bask in his non-toxic stoic masculinity.
Nah.
As opposed to everyone on this show whose masculinity is either very toxic, very animated, or incredibly goofy. We cut to the desk as we begin this 6th episode of the 4th season. Any initial takes? I know we're sort of hot and cold with season 4 as we've been going on.
I think I enjoyed this episode. To be honest, I know I watched it because I have notes. I don't remember when, don't remember how, but luckily there are some notes that kind of set me in watching it because of someone around reacting to the show themselves.
Interesting. I wonder who that could be. I think overall it's good. There's like one or two like iffy moments, but again, I think a lot of it's just them setting more things up. But let's get right into it. As we get to the desk, Matt Stryker and Vampiro welcomes us and sets us up for what's coming this episode. Penta has beaten men, monsters, but can he beat a machine? Cage jumped Penta, the champ answered, so championship on the line in an officially sanctioned match tonight, Penta versus Cage. But first,
Penta is just training on Street Fighter 2, just beating up cars.
The ultimate machine, of course. Just taking it straight to Jerry Ford's legacy.
It's like the Terminators that are kind of just like torsos on a big tank. Those are the strongest Terminators. I don't give a shit about the T-1000.
I have not seen enough Terminators. I don't remember. That's a centaur. Can we agree that's a centaur?
Of the robotic world, yeah.
Yeah, I should say it's a robot centaur. Yeah, 100%. If you're a Terminator torso on a tank, you might be a centaur. Everyone come please see my new stand-up hour. It is Jeff Foxworthy living in the post-apocalypse. So far, that's all I've got. But I feel like the rest of the material will come.
He's trying to eat possums. He's like looking inside their little pouches, seeing if, is there a little dessert in there for me?
I'm trying to catch. You remember those little like flying in the Matrix when they would come out? If you burst out of your little eggy cocoon early, they would be like all fly up to you. I'm trying to catch those and crack those open and suck them down for nutrients.
Sean, I think shouldn't be a shocker because people say The Matrix is good sci-fi. I've never seen The Matrix, baby. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've seen Animatrix.
Animatrix is decent. Okay. Same idea. I had to stop and think for a second. I go, Matrix though, still worth it. Like, it might be your Community. Although I'm not seeing Community now as an ongoing bit, really just to myself. You keep telling me it's very good, and then I keep saying no.
I was watching it last night to fall asleep after a Henry, we have to close the gate on him because what he'll do is just like, he'll just keep trying to wake me up. So then he was crying on the other side of the gate. It's a baby gate, and he's just crying because he is a little baby. I think for 30 minutes until he pulled down the curtain that we have on top of the gate. And then I was like, well, I'm up now. Got to watch some Community.
Reasonable of that sort of. I'm up. I gotta do something.
I thought you were gonna say reasonable for Henry. And then I was gonna stop recording, find out where you live, go over there and noogie you real hard.
No, what I was gonna ask about Henry was, is it because he's just a big Marc Maron fan and he's so sad that Maron's going away, so he just needs you to lock the gate so he remembers all the good times in the garage?
No, it's because he's codependent as shit and just wants to know that he can be by me and then wants me to be awake, so he just does shit to wake me up. So then when I'm like, get out of here, he'll cry.
Aw. Hey, well, speaking of codependency, we've got an ancient Aztec medallion match featuring the Rabbit Tribe, whose codependency have gone from cute to evil.
But also, I said the last episode, I think, the other two are not into this. They do not want to be here. In that scene where he smashed Masquerita, I took their reaction as like, oh no, this has gone a step too far. I think everyone besides Paul London are not down for what the White Rabbit is wanting to be dealt out.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, everything about the White Rabbit now after the death of Masquerita, it's meaner in so many ways. Even the way Paul treats the other two rabbits, they're doing the same things, but with a much meaner attitude. And it's like, I love it because it's so sad. Like, these are our favorite silly little guys, but they couldn't stay silly little guys forever. Eventually they had to, you have to like go out and do your mission, and their mission was evil, was just pure evil.
It's not good, guys, but at least Paul London, he ain't no squid now. He's got that wet hair slicked back.
Very much so. As they're coming out, I think it's Stryker who says, the great awakening is upon us. Paul now with the slicked back hair, all black, everything, and yet everything is so much more just menacing. Versus a debuting wrestler in the temple, one Desmond X, also known as Desmond Xavier in TNA and Dragon Gate, or Wes Lee in WWE, the gatekeeper of NXT. Ever since WWE kind of opened up their borders where they're letting wrestlers wrestle in more independence
that's baffling.
Also like in TNA. There's a lot of things about WWE that's baffling.
Oh, no, I mean, it's baffling that WWE is willing to open up borders when it seems like they wouldn't be down for that.
Of course. Based on the people that Triple H loves to stand next to, who are certain the worst precedents ever.
I don't know if he was loving standing next to him, okay?
He did it, though. I wish we were the type of podcast to really dig into the politics of WWE and how I was playing WWE 2K24, maybe a couple of weeks ago. And I just remember playing it and then putting down the controller saying, this feels like a fascist propaganda game by virtue of it being a WWE game. And I no longer play it.
Whoa, are you out of WWE forever now?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a podcast about it, so I don't feel as like, I don't have to feel guilty platforming it, and simply calling it a fascist organization, I don't know, maybe too simple. I don't know. I don't know. I just know by virtue of that. And then last night at SummerSlam, bringing Brock Lesnar back, who was named in the Janelle Grant case, feels gross.
Is SummerSlam a new thing they're doing?
No, SummerSlam. No, that's been one of their big four.
Oh, you mean the Summerfest?
No, what? No, my brain. What?
The Summerfest. I remember Jeremy Piven coming on and like hyping it up one year, and then Cena and Randy Orton went toe to toe at the Summerfest, baby.
Wow, referencing the Jeremy Piven guest hosted spot of Monday Night Raw where he gets the name SummerSlam wrong?
I think every single year I reference that, and it is wild that you have not committed that to memory, Sean.
I actively refuse to keep Jeremy Piven from my memory. I can't. I have so much rattling around in this old rust tin bucket that I can't let Jeremy Piven get in here. I just can't.
I'm just going to start referencing the goods, swingers.
The goods?
God damn. Well, that's what he was promoting when he came on WWE Raw, baby. Was the goods.
Was that the used car movie he did?
You better believe it, brother. So I think you're lying about how much you know about the PIV.
The reason I can't keep it in there is because there's already so much buried deep down. You know, there's just I have an island of buried treasure of Jeremy Piven lore that I'm just is taking up too much space.
You're taking prep to get rid of the PIV, baby.
Oh my. So debuting in the temple tonight is Desmond X, also known as Wesley. No, I'm sorry. You also asked an amazing question. I do love that. And to give it that I do want to answer. I don't know if I'm off of WWE forever. I'm grateful that I don't have to worry about it. Like, I'm not platforming it. Like, I'm not Brian from Wrestling with Regret, so I don't have to worry about talking about Brock Lesnar or anything like that. All I have to do is say, this feels like a good time to take a break.
I got nothing in the game. I haven't watched that I guess I watched documentaries that they produced, but technically I haven't watched it since like 2012. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah, bless.
But forget WWE, we're on the goddamn Lucha Underground. No one involved has anything problematic, not even the producers who are so willing to let people out of their contracts.
Oh my gosh, the amount of King of Dong style t-shirt in this episode is just so disconcerting. Fuck Joey Ryan. The debuting Desmond X, though, amazing, great get. You know, part of me wishes we got to see the rest of the Rascals, which is a faction that Desmond began around a couple of years before this, but an amazing addition as the bell rings.
Bing, bing.
And again, there's just a different, going back to the Rabbit Tribe, as they are post-murder, post-White Rabbit. They have finally found a charismatic leader, and he's just a murderer. He just wants to see them killed, so there's just so much sinisterness tied into them. Mala and Saltador, they've done a bunch of matches where as the bell rings, they don't touch you, but they do jump in and out of the ring real quick, just to sort of like create a diversion. But with this more like sinister purpose, Paul takes advantage of it immediately. It's not a cute, silly little guy thing. It is a dastardly cheating technique. And it works. Desmond is confused. Paul gets the blind side and jumps him. And it's really like silly little guys no more. Mala and Saltador hold Des for Paul to do a sliding baseball kick into. But Desmond is very quick. He pulls them in so they take the kick instead. As Desmond gets onto the apron, Arabian press moonsault. But Paul slides in. So Mala and Saltador are totally taken out. And as Paul slides in, he finally gets that sliding kick one more time. The younger Desmond ducks, unleashes a few quick palms to the throat, runs into Paul, who gets a corner drop kick. However, Paul now takes a minute talking to the rabbits. The way he's like, "You watch this." Like even now, like he's not like he's a bit of a bully now. He's almost like Johnny. The way he's talking down to these guys.
And I don't remember if he took the red pill or the blue pill because all I know is I took the purple pill. I popped them both in my mouth, chewed them up, swished them around in my tummy with some chocolate milk, and then I'm good to go.
What is okay? I've been so many places and seen so many faces, but there's nothing that compares to these blue and yellow purple pill. Fuck. I didn't have a lot of confidence going into that D12 song, and it came out in the end. It showed up in the wash.
Oh man, listen to those fake saxophones and that fake bass going. It actually might be a real bass, but I don't think it is on that album.
Saxophones, but it's spelled F-A-U-X.
Okay, I like that.
Hey, okay. We got wordplay. Yeah, Paul's taking too much time. Desmond with a straight leap from the mat to the apron. I don't even know if he balances on the ropes. I don't think he does, as he Frankensteiners Paul off of the top rope. Des misses the tornado DDT, connects with a back handspring Pele kick though, that blind backflip kick. They're setting up. This is a very fast match. Both of these guys incredibly elusive, incredibly quick. Desmond a little bit younger, but Paul a little bit more world weary. So you see two very similar styles in how quick they go, but Paul being a little bit more of a world weary rabbit, an old trickster rabbit, where Desmond is just fucking fresh as hell.
He's got scar tissue on the sole and on the bunny ears.
He's got scar tissue that he wish you saw. I said that like it was a pun. It wasn't. Des misses the 450s. Paul answers with a double knee Luthez press. It's the other thing I love watching Paul London. Half these moves I've just never seen before. Like the way he sort of does, like, it's not a full meteora, like where his knees land on your shoulders and he drives you into the mat. It's kind of like a Luthez press. It's wild.
Sean, were you just talking about Pokemon right now?
Yep. Wait, what?
Because my brain went as blank when you were trying to explain a wrestling move that you've never seen before, that I have never also seen before, as when you were like, yeah, Ash and Gary, and, they're hanging out.
I should. You know what? I'm going to start, not this episode, maybe not next episode, but one episode. I'm going to just start putting in Pokemon names instead of wrestling move names.
Okay.
And see if anyone catches me.
Oh, man. Remember when he was doing that goddamn Geodude onto him?
Oh, that was crazy. You recall that ponytail Rapidash?
Oh, yeah. Who I think is really going to take the cake and really hammer down and get the belts I should say the Doug Trio belts, are the White Rabbit tribe,
I thank you. That was so slick, by the way. Just marvelous. I want to. However, they might not be. This is interesting.
Sean, I gotta be honest, if you're saying like, James actually thinks the White Rabbit tribe is going to get the belts, I was just using the Doug Trio pun as a way to get there. So like, I'm not really thinking the White Rabbit tribe is going to take these belts.
I know. I kind of figured based on the next words I'm about to say. Paul goes for that glam slam, the way he kind of hooks the arms to kind of grapevine them. But Dez rolls through for the upset win in 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Whoa.
After all they've been through, or I should say all they're going through, right? Because it's not like they're on the other side of this all yet. They really just kind of started this process of becoming evil bad guy, evil bad silly no more guys. But like after going down the rabbit hole and murdering Masquerita Sagrada, committing this sacrifice of blood for them only to still lose. And again, ancient Aztec medallion match. This was a big match. This had a huge amount of stakes attached to it. And to lose to a debuting Desmond X. There is a lot to say in that loss.
I think you got to hit up Matt Stryker real quick because he's been wondering where Masquerita Sangrado was. He says that in this match, like, oh yeah, anyone know where that person is? And he says it like a James Adomian character. So I'm like, why are you talking like him?
What if Matt Stryker's been James Adomian this whole time?
Well, then you should respect him wholeheartedly.
If Matt Stryker was a James Adomian character, I would take back every bad word I said. I would also say, hey, I really appreciate all those episodes of Birdie versus Trump Ewan at Terminators. But back to like where they are now, because like we've both been like pretty Paul London guys. I know last week you found out that I have not been the largest Mil Muertes fan. I almost wanted I of course appreciated and respected him, but like he wasn't in my top 3 the way he was in yours. But like Paul was, and to see him lose here after like I like it for a couple of reasons. It makes sense. It's sort of like in professional sports when they say a team is in a rebuild year, maybe they just maybe like their quarterback just left, they just have to fire a head coach, they have to drafts are so important because they have to like rebuild the whole team. Almost they're rebuilding.
The White Sox, perfect example. They've been in a rebuild year the last 20 years.
Exactly. That's kind of where I see the Rabbit Tribe, but as opposed to like rebuilding with personnel or new players, they're rebuilding their moral core, right? Like sort of one of the keys about having a rebuild year is that you're gonna suck, you're gonna lose a lot of games, so it makes sense that they lost this here. It's interesting to see like after all that and like going to meet the White Rabbit, murdering Masquerada Sagrada, and you still lose. I like that. I didn't think I would as much as I did, but it means they have so much more to go, and it's a loss with a lot of weight to it. We'll see where the Rabbit Tribe goes from here. All right, we cut to ringside with a Gift of the Gods belt, as Antonio congratulates Desmond X on becoming the final competitor in next week's Gift of the Gods match. As he hypes up that match, he introduces the traditional medallion placement ceremony. Remember, we had 7 medallions, won over various matches over the past couple of weeks. Now they got to take that medallion, place it into the belt, and they are officially entered into this 7-way for this specialized championship.
Which we know that because of previous episodes and incarnations of this belt. But if you watch just starting with season 4, you're not going to understand what the fuck's going on because Antonio does not say any words.
He talks in circles. He says a lot of like...
No, he talks like...
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, you mean literally his
no
diction.
Words.
Yes,
no
his diction. Maybe it's because I'm a mumbly bastard, or I'm too obsessed with this campy ass. I will play my own father, but with a scragglier voice. His diction is not his strong suit.
Imagine if someone went up at Blood Spear Shake Oath and you're like, what? Why is he talking like that? We can't understand him.
I always loved it. There was always the example they gave us in class when I was going to school to learn how to tread the boards. But it would always be like that. Hey, there's always gonna be that actor that like, you probably at some point will be that actor where you're gonna like emotionally really get into the scene and be like, oh my God, this is some of the best acting I've ever done in my life. And you'll get off, and hopefully you pray to God you have a director that can walk up to you and say, hey, how you doing? That was powerful. I didn't understand a fucking word you said. Like, I'm so glad you could find real tears. Diction though. Sorry to give you the diction note, but you got to get a diction note right now.
Yeah. And I will defend my own point because as he was doing this, bringing in new people, screaming no syllables, just grunts and ghoul sounds, Nicole walks past, does not stop. Just as she's walking towards the TV, towards the kitchen, you know our layout, she points at him on the TV and goes, oh, that's funny, and then just keeps walking.
He's hilarious. This is like, and we've said it before, and I don't think I wrote it down, and I don't remember where I had this thought, but that like, I'm glad we did talk about it. That this is the one show, and with a smaller season run, it's better to feel this way about. You really do need to watch the episodes in order. Like watching it out of context is impossible. At the very least, get a plot recap, because there is so much going on, and it's just so goddamn silly and goofy and mystical and magical and just so complicated in a very fun way. I'm guessing it's a interstitial later on, but the only note I have for one of the segments is a quote from Nicole. Lucha Underground is really weird. I can't wait to find out where that is. It's super weird. what makes it so special and magical. Getting back to this segment, we begin the medallion placement ceremony. Dragon Azteca Jr., King Cuerno, Ivalice, Desmond X, Son of Havoc, Mac, and Mil Muertes. They all come out one by one, place their medallion in the belt, and enter the ring.
Oh, yeah. And we find out from Stryker, this is a direct quote. It's the same emphasis, everything. He literally says, Mil is forever cold and hard. I'm like, dude, you know what you're saying. Stop it.
That's not even for the podcast. That is a personal note James is currently writing to Matt Stryker.
But I actually like what he's saying and whatnot. So keep doing it, but you know what you're saying.
You know what you're doing to us. I love there's a moment as Mac's coming out, Evie gives a look over to Havoc, kind of like this, how did we get here? Long way from season 1. And I appreciated that so much. Because, like, it's real. Like, Havoc is now part of a new trio, a brand new odd throuple. Meanwhile, Ivalice just had to murder her new boyfriend with a hammer. And I kind of like them having that moment of looking back at the past by just kind of checking in with each other. But they're all in the ring now. The medallions are in the belt, which I always kind of read it as that's what turns the magic of the championship on. So the match is official. Yeah, the medallions have been gathered. This is happening next week. And Antonio goes on, now that I have you in the ring, let's have some fun. He finds 7 to be an unlucky number. So next week, only 6 will compete in the Gift of the Gods match.
Whoa.
Crazy. How do we determine who those 6 will be? Who will be the odd man out? An impromptu, over-the-top battle royale. It's going to start right now. The winner will choose who's out of the match. Very fun, little complicated, but in a cool kind of way. Bell rings, Mil helps Katrina out of the ring as everyone else just starts brawling. And Mil immediately, as soon as he helps Katrina out of the ring, just goes on a warpath. He eliminates Cuerno. Then he eliminates Ivalice by throwing her off the top rope onto Cuerno. Desmond gets tossed off by his ears, which is so painful. Like, Desmond X is a very good wrestler to take that bump, just being held by the ears and then tossed over the top rope. Mil turns his attention on Dragon Azteca. He's gonna power bomb, like just power bomb this poor sweet lad from the ring all the way to the ground. But Dragon hooks his legs around Mil's head, and as he does, Havoc and Mac tip Mil's legs, sending both of them out of the ring, leaving just Havoc and Mac.
Oh, yeah.
You immediately, the return of the Mac chance. Like, this is, by the way, this is happening all very quickly. This match is just over a minute. But like, how quick, like, as soon as the crowd's like, oh, shit, okay, this is happening. Oh, wow, it's just Havoc and Mac. Immediately, return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Clap, clap. And we get those Son of Havoc chants get back in there, and they're squaring off, and they're looking at each other. And Havoc takes a second, pats Mac on the chest, and kind of just saying, like, don't worry about this one. And eliminates himself with a big senton, like Cope con Giro, over the top rope into the pile. Winner of the match is Mac in 1:43.
Woo! And I was like, that's a trios member. I don't care what Vampiro says of, oh, but now it's putting the onus on the Mac to choose who leaves. But it's like, no. He's like, we should both stay at our prime for next week's match. That's what we're going to do. And I'm just the first one to think of it.
Yeah, though there is a good point. Like, that's the sort of, that's a very reality show mentality. Again, because now I'm too deep into old episodes of Big Brother because it's horrible, which is a perfect reflection of American society. But that should I finish this, or you look very excited?
Real quick,
get in there.
That could be a perfect title for your porno rom-com. Okay. Too deep into Big Brother.
I mean, that's the title of my porno science fiction 1984 parody.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that.
Too deep into Big Brother.
Big Brother's watching, but I'm watching him from behind.
One of the things about Big Brother, specifically because there is less, the competition is much more insular. It is a lot of like, we're determining because there's less of like surviving the island or like whatever Traders is about. It's a lot more of just like, who do you want to go home next? And make sure you're not the person to go home next. There's a lot of like small choices. And one of those small choices is like, yeah, you can be the guy who wins the big head of household and determine who goes home next. But that puts a target on you. And now everyone the person who stays has reason to distrust you. You have blood on your hands. Mm-hmm. And as much as like Vampiro said it about like, is Havoc a good... I think Havoc is still a good Trios member, but Mac will still have the blood on his hands determining who goes home next, who's not going to go to the Gift of the Gods title match. And there's a moment, so Antonio asks him, Mac takes a beat, and he says, Mac likes to say he's afraid of no man, but Mil Muertes scares the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, Mil, you're out.
Very funny.
Very funny. Mil does not take this well, by the way. Mac leaves out of the other side of the ring as Mil demolishes the rest of the Gift of the Gods competitors ringside, and we go to commercial.
If only we were there, could have been getting beat the shit out of by Mil.
Which is the name of another porno parody I'm directing.
Okay. Beat that pussy up, Mil!
These next two matches I am obsessed with. I wouldn't really call a match. That was more of a segment. It was less than 2 minutes. And the Paul Desmond thing, amazing. Under 5 minutes. It was good, but it's just like a very short match. These two are crazy. These two might be my... They're currently in like my favorite of season 4. They might go down as some of my favorites. Especially this one. Vibora with Cobra Moon versus Johnny Mundo with Taya.
Real quick. Les Mille Petites Mortes.
Yeah.
So the little death is what an orgasm is. So we could say the little 1,000 deaths, and that whenever you get that pussy beat up by Mil, you better believe it's 1,000 orgasms real quick.
I hope he never hears this. I feel like I like to think that Judas Messias is the kind of guy that would hear us porn parodying his name and take it in stride. But I can't be sure of that, and just in case he doesn't find it amusing, I hope he never hears this.
Well, I think Ricky Banderas would.
I hope so. But what about, I've only got 2 names for him.
Mil Muertes. Oh, you better believe he's like, I'm giving Katrina the 1,000 deaths, the very little ones.
God, she's going to be so mad. We didn't get to see her react to him being eliminated. I don't know how they're going to do their breakup. I don't know if they are going to do their breakup. But the way they've been planting those seeds, I'm so curious about how that's going to... Because I don't think it's going to be a match. Like, I don't think Katrina is going to wrestle Mil.
No.
But I want to see... It means they have to be creative, which I always like to see.
This is just someone having to test their relationship. Like, sometimes a partner might get really into, like... resin figures, or another partner might get really, really, really into Double Dare, And that's just, you gotta take the good with the bad and make the bad into good. So eventually maybe Mil will say, hey, let me become alive, and then we can live out our life together. And Katrina's like, wait, actually, yeah, that might be what I want. I don't want that cold heart. I want that warm heart.
What? 2 things. Love that for them, and I love that warm heart for them. Yeah, I don't know if Katrina's a good person. Like, that would be a huge, crazy character arc. Because I'm pretty sure they're both like bad people. I think that that's what's sort of finally splitting them up. We'll see where it goes. I'm terrified of making any more predictions. But we got to get into this. Vibora with Cobra Moon versus Johnny Mundo. 2 weeks ago, Johnny and Taya in the Worldwide Underground thought they outsmarted the reptiles until Vibora came out and single-handedly wiped the floor with the entire faction. So, bell rings. This is such a good... I am in love with this match. Mm-hmm. Johnny goes behind quick, and it's what he has to do. Vibora is a very large man. Like, Johnny chops at his knees, so Vibora goes down on one. But even from one knee, Vibora delivers a staggering open-handed slap that just like resets the whole thing. Vibora hits the ropes. Taya grabs his foot to slow him down. So Johnny hits the ropes, and then Cobra grabs his foot. And Johnny gets so pissy about it, like it didn't just happen. He's like, hey, how dare you?
He says, stay out of this. And I'm like, he's such a child because he literally just did the same thing.
100%. He was literally just about to take advantage of this same thing. And so immediately, like, after there's some barely a moment of trash talking before Taya and Cobra get into the ring and start fighting it out. Taya muscles Cobra out as they talk shit outside. And the ref is too distracted with the women arguing outside. He does not see Johnny alley-oop Vibora up and over his head, so that when Vibora falls back down, Johnny back kicks his foot and just kind of kicks him in the nuts.
Oh.
It's such a clever way to kick someone in the balls.
What's the most clever way you could kick someone in the balls? I think a Rube Goldberg machine while they're just kind of sitting down, and eventually like a boot on a swindle just like punches them real hard in the dick.
I was literally going to say a Rube Goldberg machine.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I gotta give it to Johnny. This is kind of the Rube Goldberg machine of professional wrestling. Of like, I'm like, pick you up for almost a power bomb, like a pop-up power bomb. But instead of going down, I'm gonna alley-oop you up and over my head. And I'm not even really kicking you in the balls. I'm just letting you fall into my upward trajectory foot. Like, so even if the ref did turn around, it's like, I didn't kick him in the balls. His balls landed on my foot. If anything, his balls should be disqualified. I did nothing wrong. I'm Johnny Mundo. I'm a sweet little boy. Insane. Flash kick puts Vibora on the ground. Johnny starts to get a little bit ahead of steam. He only gets a 1 count, though. And the way Vibora kicks out, holds on to Johnny, and just kind of rolls through. So, like, he uses Johnny pinning him as an opportunity to put him on his shoulders and beat the shit out of him. Just bullying Johnny.
Which he likes, because that could also be the name of one of your pornos, Bullying Johnny.
I'm gonna say right now, a lot of the things we say are gonna be the names of my pornos.
The Dominator.
Everything but that for ongoing legal issues. Have you ever even seen a Dalmatian, James?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. You listened. Good.
I listened. Good. I listen.
In the newest episode, I bring up the Dominator again, I believe.
Get it out of there.
No, it was the aerobic thing. I was like, or maybe I keep bringing up the Dominator because it's a good idea.
It's not. Vibora with a cutthroat burning hammer Johnny barely kicks out of, chokeslam that Johnny backflips out of, and then he just starts spiking the big lizard with Hurricane and Poison Ranas. Johnny gets to the top rope, Vibora gets up early, Johnny has to readjust, so instead of diving on Vibora, perfect fake out, he does a parkour dive onto Cobra outside the ring. Taya and Johnny then flip off Vibora as PJ Black, unseen with a steel chair, gets into position. Taya gets into the ring to distract the referee, Justin Borden, as Johnny baits Vibora around the ring, chasing him into PJ's chair shot. Boom, straight to the dome.
Yeah, he's baiting him all around the ring, guys.
Okay, yes. They jerked off a whole bunch. Back in the ring, and it's all over. Chair shot as Johnny hits the fin de mundo. 1, 2, crazy kick out. I love this. This is where I'm like, oh, they are making a star out of Vibora, which makes sense. He's getting like huge Luchasaurus chants every time he's out there. Like, he's one of those guys, like, you think he's just like, oh, he's just another big heavy until you like get him, you see him wrestle for like 2 seconds and you listen to the crowd react. He's like, oh no, he's a huge, I could see if Lucha Underground was around for another 2 years after this, he gets the belt. He gets the Lucha Championship. Like, this is a star-making performance. Kicking out of a chair shot fin de mundo.
I think
I'm there. I'm on board with the big man.
I really liked that, but I would much rather see, yes, he gets the trios belt, but then Daga gets the championship belt because, man, Daga rules.
I like it. I think the storyline I would want, though, is Daga is the one being prepared for it. Like, he's the one being groomed to be the champion. And then Luchasaurus, Vibora is the one there that's like, actually, I just kind of won it, guys. Sorry. Like, he becomes this sort of like people's champion, as opposed to Daga, who is Cobra Moon's champion.
Which originally, I guess an episode ago, I wasn't really feeling the Cobra Tribe, especially for what they're doing to Drago, because we love Drago so much.
We love Drago.
After this match, I was like, no, the Cobra Tribe rules now. I'm really liking them.
Reptile Tribe, it's a lot. Johnny, now frustrated, but always with a plan B, super kicks the referee to shit so he can start blatantly cheating. Ty and PJ put Vibora onto his knees, put a chair around his neck as they hold his arms out, crucify style, while Johnny takes a second chair, presumably to kill him. However, we never find out, as Drago of the Reptiles flies in from the top rope, drop kicks Johnny, baits Ty and PJ to one side of the ring, giving Daga just enough space to come in with a chair of his own to totally clear the ring and chase the Worldwide Underground to the back, leaving just only Johnny and Vibora in the ring. Not even the referee. Justin is still out. So Johnny takes the chair, swings, Vibora ducks, does like a lucha. That's the other thing about Vibora. He's so quick. The duck with handspring, like with the forward roll. As he kicks the chair into Johnny's face, powerbomb into chokeslam into moonsault pin, but there's no ref. Very quickly, referee Marty Elias does slide in, but I love this, literally a beat short, as Johnny kicks out of 2. Probably would have been 3 if there was a referee there, if Marty Elias didn't have to slide in. In the corner, Vibora is about to cannonball Johnny, but there's one more Worldwide Underground. Former intern / guy with a doll, Ricky. He comes out to pull Johnny out of the ring. But Vibora stays on them with a quick moonsault to the outside, throws Johnny back in. Vibora on the top rope. Johnny ducks, starts throwing kicks for his life. Vibora headbutts to slow Johnny down. Johnny escapes momentarily to the apron, but gets caught springboarding on the top rope, just goozled by the throat as Johnny's standing on that, balancing himself on the top rope. And this fucking choke slam. Like, Vibora almost backflips to get this spiral choke slam, destroys Johnny to pin and what I would call another upset, win the match in 8 minutes and 54 seconds. And quickly after, Cobra slides in to Razor Monster's arm. PJ and Taya come back with chairs. However, Drago, Daga come back to fight off the Worldwide Underground, and we go to commercial with Ricky joining this 3-on-2 brawl. But yeah, loved this match. Moving quickly because we're running short on time, but just loved this match. Yeah. Beautiful. After we come back to commercial, we see Exolicious starring in a Flashdance parody. Exolicious, aka Sunny Kiss, neon spandex with beads and leg warmers, like a whole Flashdance daydream, dumping the water on herself like J-Lo, which is only when it's broken. As that scene where she pulls the chain and the water comes down. That's when we see that she's just in the temple gym, the temple gym, and she's kind of just got her water bottle. And as she's pouring the water bottle onto herself, she's taking a drink. She kind of turns around, and we see Jack Evans, creepy little bastard, creeping back into his corner as he's spying and muttering him to himself, "You embarrassed me. No one embarrasses the profound hound of sound." And he looks down, as he retreats back into his corner, and he sees a doll. And he looks up and he sees Ricky hiding out in the same corner. Ricky asks Jack, "What are you doing?" "Watching my enemy's every move." "What are you doing?" "Getting my ass kicked by the Reptile Tribe. Really could have used you out there." So cute, so silly.
This is the bit that Nicole said, Lucha Underground is really weird.
It's so silly. I'm so glad that's the bit Nicole saw. I loved this bit so much. Even just that, "What are you doing?" "Watching my enemy's every move." "What are you doing?" "I'm getting my ass kicked." And the fact, when the guy with the creepy haunted doll is comparatively the voice of reason, when Jack Evans is just inherently dumber than the guy who, just very goofier and more out there than the guy with a literal doll. Well, I guess we should finish this segment out. When Ricky kind of presses him, "Why weren't you out there helping us?" Jack reminds Ricky he already said he doesn't do snakes, and Johnny's cool with him sitting this one out, so Jack tells Ricky and his creepy little doll to butt out. As Jack walks off, the doll says she doesn't really like him, and Ricky agrees. And we get, a question we've had for a couple weeks now gets fully answered. The doll suggests to Ricky, maybe you should do to him what you did to Angelico. Angelico, who had a huge beef we saw last year against the Worldwide Underground, against Johnny Mundo, but we haven't seen him since. Been wondering where he was. On Dahl's orders, taken out by Ricky.
Maybe he's just chained up somewhere and he's like, someone please let me out. This Dahl keeps talking to me.
It's the worst. I'm not even pulling its string. It has no strings. Whoa. To which I also love Ricky's kind of also being very cute because the Dahl is his friend. We all see a terrifying, creepy Dahl. And Ricky's just like, no, I can't take out Jack. Johnny would be mad. Mm-hmm. I was like, who's in charge of your life, Johnny or you? And because we talked about this before, but if the Dahl is the one that unionizes the Worldwide Underground, we've said before that Johnny is never going to be a babyface as long as he's the leader and the boss of Worldwide Underground. So before how we could see he's a bad guy, maybe this is before Ricky even joined. PJ and Jack at some point realizing that this guy is a bad guy and they unionize to get their way out of this group. But what if instead of Jack or PJ, it's the fucking Dahl that unionizes the Worldwide Underground against Johnny? Who knows? Lots going down in the temple.
Oh, I was assuming you were saying Johnny is also on the side of the Dahl. Because he's like, no, yeah, the Dahl knows how we can become champions. And whoa, the Dahl was right.
The Dahl knew how to take out Angelico, which was a huge thorn in Johnny's side. What if Johnny has been a Dahl this whole time? Johnny is, what are those sex dolls called? The living dolls? Live dolls?
I think living dolls.
What if Johnny is a real-life living doll come to life?
Okay. He's Mannequin 3, you know?
Yeah, Big Dick Johnson, get at me. I know you're no longer writing for Lucha Underground because this show's not on TV anymore, but get at me. I've got ideas.
I would love it if how the Dahl was like, hey, this'll get out Angelico. Angelico's just training in the temple to like do that running off from the office onto the ring, you know, the thing that he does. We've gifted a bunch.
Of course. The biggest gif in Lucha Underground history, I think, still.
The Dahl's like, hey, as he's doing that, just quickly like yank on the ring real quick. He's just going to fall flat onto the ground.
Not push Angelico from the top is the absolute misdirect of, no, we just move the entire ring so it's not there when he needs to land. He impales himself on the ring post, just like, as we impale ourselves on this main event match. Lucha Underground Championship, Cage versus Pentagón Dark. Cage with the power advantage, Pentagón with the advantage of the dark. What does that mean? It means Penta's an evil bastard and he hits you real hard. And I love it. I kind of love how this match starts. We come back from commercial. Penta's not even in the ring yet, just truly soaking in the Cero Miedo chants filling the temple.
And there's this one weird guy in the background that's just kind of like, just being weird. Like I don't know if he knew he was supposed to be there because everyone's doing like the Cero Miedo thing. And I think he's trying to do that to be like, oh, I'm on camera right now. I should be like doing this motion, but he doesn't know what's going on.
Oh no. So he got dragged there. Somebody was like, I think this would be a really cute second date. You should come with me. And he's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, wrestling. Which one is Hulk Hogan? And they're just like, shut the fuck up. Just whatever you do, don't get on camera. He says, got it. And then he looks up and he sees he's on camera. He's like, oh no.
Uh-huh.
But his heart was in the right place. And honestly, there's no, as silly and as wrong as you get things, as long as your heart is in the right place and you're there to enjoy it. That's what we're all here doing. You can't fuck up as long as you're having a good time.
Oh yeah.
And you're not hurting anyone else, of course. But so we come back to commercial. The temple, even that one confused guy is chanting Cero Miedo. And referee again, Justin Borden, he's telling Penta, like, okay, that's cool. You got to get in the ring. We got to start this match. And Penta's just like, fuck you and fuck no. I'm going to do in classic Penta fashion, I'm going to do what I want. And he sort of turns around. And he's talking to his fans like, yeah, we're here. And as he does, Justin's kind of like, oh, okay, and slowly backs off as Cage comes in and just pounces Penta from behind. Justin's just like, yep, I told you, ring the bell.
Bing, bing.
I love it. As just like a very I love that. That was a lovely little referee moment. As that bing, bing happens, match starts. Cage joins Penta on the outside, and it's exactly what we saw, what they said up top. is power versus darkness, as Cage is throwing Puma around the ring until Puma starts swinging those leg kicks. Those which it's just like a hatchet attached to his lower body. That every time he swings into the tree trunks that are Cage's thighs, just gets a little bit more in, a little bit more in. But Cage finds an opening and starts throwing the champ around again. There is another sort of interesting wrinkle where in their respective fields, Cage is one of the most powerful. Penta is one of the most just cutthroat. But they have the same weakness. They are egotistical bastards. Like, they love taking a moment, like, outside of Johnny. I don't know if there's any two in the whole temple that loves to turn around and take a moment and just go, yeah. It's constantly happens. Eventually, Penta does lock back in a few more leg kicks before Penta grabs a cable and he starts to strangle the machine.
They're both individuals who would remember the D-pad does things on Super Smash Brothers, which is to taunt.
100%. They would taunt spam the shit out of you. And to the point where you go, I don't know if this is a mind game anymore or if you are just this cocky. It's honestly, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle.
A lot of my friends would spam the taunt on Super Smash Brothers to the friends specifically who hated being taunted. And it's like, people would get pissed. And if I ever did it, because I always played Kirby, I'd do his little like, hi. And be like, you goddamn bowling ball, fuck you.
I had a friend in college, shouts out to Jess, who took that Kirby took that Kirby taunt into real life. Like, we could be playing, like, not video games, like we could be like playing a board game and like all of a sudden we were playing Monopoly and she lands on Park Place and she gets to buy it up. And we're all just like, no, I needed that for Monopoly. And she would just go, hi.
Hell yeah.
It's a great taunt. What's not great is for Penta is Cage surviving getting choked out and just going back on the offensive, suplexing him on the apron, throwing him into the front row of chairs, then tying his match to the barricade. So Penta just kind of like helpless as Cage leaves Penta, goes to commentary, and borrows, quote unquote, Matt Stryker's chair. And Matt's just like, oh, well, yep, okay, there you go. However, as he's left Penta alone, Penta had the time to sort of untie himself, but stay up on the barricade, sort of feigning that he's helpless. As Cage comes back with the chair, swings, Penta ducks, thrust kicks the chair into Cage's face. Then finally rolling Cage into the ring. The match has started, but we can't have a winner until we get back in the ring. So we're back in the ring now. Yeah.
Wait, did you bring up have we gotten to the cord strangle right
yes.
now? I need to say this. The cameramen need to go cordless, or wrestlers are going to keep using these cords as means of strangulation, and it's just not going to be good.
Unless you're like me and you want to see more wrestlers get strangled by cords. In which case, James, let me have this. James, let me have this.
What about all those radio waves bouncing in your brain? That's going to make people also be able to do a fatality, you know?
A fatality via long-term cancer?
Well, no, it's like, hey, I'm going to go up to this. They take the camera and then they crank the radio waves up, and then the machine, it messes with his stuff. Ooh. And he's like, ah! And then, he bursts a sprocket and he's dead. He's done for.
Oh, no. Maybe that's why they have to keep the cords. They're like, we would love to go cordless, but we interfere with the machine's wiring.
Yeah, and if RoboCop shows back up in wrestling, that's not going to be good for him either.
God. And we're all just waiting for RoboCop to show up after WCW Great American Bash 92?
Who knows?
I don't think that's right. You bring up an interesting point, though, that I didn't put in my notes, but I noticed in this episode. All three of those matches, except for the Battle Royale, which again was under 2 minutes, a lot more cheating. Which this is why I wanted to. Okay.
But most Lucha Underground has a lot of cheating because Dario's fine with, or Antonio's fine with it.
It feels more so than it has been. Especially in this episode, like, because agreed, like there's always and wrestling is always kind of like that. It's discretion of the referee, and a lot of times there's this element of, which I like that you can buy into this kayfabe. There's a lot of people, like, we're still a business. As much as we're a competition, we're a business that aims to sell tickets. It needs to be satisfying. And if that means we have to look the other way sometimes, we need these customers to keep coming back. Mm-hmm. That's not what it feels like. That's not what it feels like this time. And again, because this episode, there was a lot, like, between the rabbits getting super involved in Paul's match. Mm-hmm. The way the Worldwide Underground always has been involved, but maybe because they were in the mid card and Johnny's not champion anymore, like, it was just very apparent. And by the time it's Cage and Penta, this is also like, these guys have been trying to kill each other for weeks now. We gotta let them go. It feels different, and this is why why I mentioned before why this feels so much more justifiable in season 4 with Paul and with the Worldwide Underground, is that we've been here for so long, and now it feels like the referees are just trying to survive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, we've seen Paul. I don't think they've seen Paul murder before. Like, they didn't get to see Paul murder Masquerita Sagrada in the rabbit hole. But they've seen the referees have seen murder in this temple. They know at some point, everyone knows there's something supernatural happening here. So they're just kind of like, oh, wow, the rabbit tribe sure are getting involved in this match. Please don't kill me. Mm-hmm. Or the Worldwide Underground. Like, if this was like season 2 or 3, it would feel weird because they're new and they're fresh. Their evil streak hasn't been established. By now, it's super established. So they're just kind of like, okay, yep, you guys really shouldn't be in this ring. Please don't kill me. Fucking Daga and Cobra Moon, who were also doing a lot of cheating, beheaded a man at the end of season 3. They took a sword and they chopped his head off, and he's dead now. Like, I like this in season 4 added context of the referees being like, hey, I normally wouldn't allow that, but please don't cut my head off with a sword. I'm going to let that one go.
I think it's even less extreme than that. They're just thinking, I can't keep bringing my duffel bag in for dry cleaning. I'm not making that much money, because if I call this as cheating, I'm getting a load in there. And by load, I should say loaf in there.
Yeah. As long as any episode that Chavo is not booked on, someone's going to shit in their bag. Mm-hmm. Chavo, we love you so much. And we should probably get back to this match. As Penta ducks rolls Cage in, and it becomes this exchange of bombs. This is weird. Like, they're just going back and forth with their biggest moves. Couple leg kicks before Penta looks for a packaged pile driver. Cage powers out, counters with a big Weapon X, and into Buckle Bomb, into the superplex. That's the deadlift superplex. Cage covers for 2. But Penta, who escapes for a second, after the 2 count, Cage puts Penta on his shoulders, escapes in lung blower, into code breaker, into another cover for 2. Because we're getting short on time, just to say it goes back and forth and back and forth. Like, not a lot of technique. Like, there's reversals and escapes, but usually after one of them eats just a massive move.
And Vampiro's out with his catchphrase, which is, when you get a 2 count, why did they get a 2 count, Sean?
They are not hooking the shoulders. They're not hooking the legs. Uh-huh. They're not evenly distributing their body weight. What they're doing is being arrogant.
Oh, yeah.
Penta's counting along. Cage is kind of taking a pose. Neither of them are going for the kill as much as they are basking in their ego. They have the same these two are so much more alike. If anything was a rom-com in this episode, it's Cage and Penta. They think they're enemies, but they're so much alike. They realize that they're lovers, and this is the rom-com. Cage and Penta is the rom-com. They're more similar than they are different. They just need to realize it.
The classic trope: enemies to lovers.
Penta escapes a second powerbomb from Cage. Some gnarly kicks before 2 unanswered destroyers, those flipping pile drivers. directly into the package pile driver. We've seen him do this combo. I think this is the combo he used to defeat Matanza. And this is the combo he is going to use again. 2 flipping pile drivers into the package pile driver to successfully defend his title. Penta defeats Cage in 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Woo!
After the match, Cage isn't quite done. He throws a wild discus lariat, but Penta ducks and smashes his title into the machine's head. Penta rubs Cage's nose into the title like a bad puppy who just peed on the carpet.
Lay down, dog.
Bad dog.
It's so much better when you do it.
Hey, thank you so much. Before Penta takes Cage's arm for the sacrifice. However, Cage powers up with Penta on his shoulders, which is such strength. Like, that sacrifice arm breaker is a very awkward position to just stand up with a man on your shoulders. But Cage is able to do that before delivering that TKO onto the title. Cage stands back up now with Penta's belt in one hand, Mike in the other. Says, Penta, I already told you, you can't break my arm because I'm not a machine. James, if he's not a machine, fuck, I fucked it up.
I'm a machine.
I'm a machine.
I'm not a machine. I'm a man. And I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. And yeah, I'm not a machine. I am a man. I drink beer. I fight rattlesnakes. And I tell my boss to fuck off.
Amen. Penta may, there's no time. Yep, that's what happened.
I just want to say this real quick.
Please.
Cage says you can't break my arm because I'm not a man, I'm a machine. But robot arms break all the time. It's $1 billion industry just to fix robot arms that break in factories. Come on, have you never played that Nintendo game with Rob in it? You better believe that little top is gonna not be working because his arm broke.
Smash Brothers should have more limb damage. I should be able to break Link Jr.'s arm if I'm tired of him throwing that boomerang around.
Yeah, those ice climbers, their heads I'm gonna focus there, okay?
Yeah. Give ice climbers with a concussion. Is very sad. Penta may still be champ, but Machine is the one to walk away as we cut to the final credits. And that is Lucha Underground Season 4, Episode 6, Break the Machine. And if you want to break my heart, don't follow me on social media at Sean Marciniak, and certainly don't follow Shakespeare Blood Oath. We're putting on the Scottish play, the Tragedy of the Tyrant, in the middle of September, early October. Look for us on social media. If you can get onto our mailing list, we'll only send out a couple of emails a year, mostly just, hey, we're doing a fundraiser, and hey, we're doing the show. That is Shakespeare Blood Oath, and I hope you have a Shakespeare Blood goated day today.
Oh,
James.
Yeah. Blood-throated, that could be a name of one of your pornos.
I hate how I have to become a porno producer because we've come up with too many titles.
I've thought about it. It would be rad to just produce porno in a fun way, not a sleazy way.
Like a Zack and Miri kind of way.
Yeah, or, cool.
Wow, are you saying Zack and Miri Make a Porno is not a cool movie?
I tried watching it to fall asleep to. I was like, no,
What? Huh?
Yeah, but hey guys, listen to Death to Squids on this freaking feed right now. Listen to Magical Meatball Girls, This Movie's Gay, Height of Horror. Wherever you're listening to this, you can listen to those for free. But if you want to support us, head over to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday is Mini Meatball Girls, baby. Or should I say Mini Meatball Girls, because that's Nicole and I after the show. We're still stoned, we're still high, and Nicole's given me, I think we played MASH, mansion, apartment, shack, house on that, and it's wild and stupid, guys. It's real fun. And $10 patrons get monthly bonus exclusive content in the form of straight to Patreon. We just covered SLC Punk. Nicole had never seen it. I haven't seen it since my friends died in a car accident in high school. I couldn't handle it, baby. But boy, oh boy, does that movie hold up better than anyone would hope. And $10 patrons get shoutouts on every single free feed podcast, so let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Alex Z, The Waz, Orion, my Bickle brother in common law, Joshua, Jake, Steve Barnes, a sweet child of the time, and Intro Void, my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, from This Movie's Gay, as well as twitch.tv/Corwinning, it's Corwin. From the Rom Complex, as well as Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2Shelby2. And from Speed Radio, a podcast and all things Sonic the Hedgehog, it's Tay, a.k.a. Zinny D, and I've been James.
And I've been Sean, and this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling. A Purple Prancer forever, be like Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.